Number 5. So here we go. Here we have a leading coefficient that's negative. So right off the bat, I know I'm going to have a negative in front of the GCF, right? Even if I don't have a GCF, I'm still going to factor out a negative. So always make sure that if your leading coefficient is negative, make sure you factor it out. Okay, and then we have 54, 600, 600. So I want to find the greatest common factor there. So I'll start with the smaller number. And you don't necessarily have to start with the smaller number, but for me, that's kind of my usual practice. But you might know 600 might be easier for you to break down, right? You might that's kind of a number that we know. Oh yeah, 6 and 100, and 10 and 10, and 2 and 3 with the 6. So that might be something you want to do in this case, and kind of an exception to the rule. So 6. Doing this with my left hand because my microphone's kind of in the way. Pretty good with my left, huh? All right, and so 54 is a combination of 1, 2, and 3 3s, and so I want to check, do 2s or 3s go into these numbers, right? So 600 is 2 times 300, right? And then so I know 2 goes in. Okay, so I'm just going to write a 2 right up there. And then 300 is 3 times 100. Okay, so there's a 3. Let's pick this 3 here. It doesn't matter which one. Okay, so 2 times 3. And now the only other thing I want to check for are 3's, right? So that's why I'm dividing by 3's. 100, 3 doesn't go into 100, right? So that means we can't use it, this 3 nor this 3. So it's just 2 and 3. And I could check the other 600, but it'll be the same as this one, right? So we'll just have 2 times 3, which is 6. And that'll be our GCF. Factor out the negative. They don't have any variables in common, but remember, if we did have a variable in common, we just take that out with the negative 6, right? So now I'm going to open up parentheses, and I'm going to divide everything by negative 6, right? And so negative 54 divided by negative 6 is positive 9. Bring down the x squared. 600 divided by negative 6 is negative 100. Don't forget to change the signs. Bring down the xy. Negative 600 divided by negative 6 is going to be positive 100 y squared. All right. So now we can see we factor out a GCF. We have a number bigger than 1 in front of our highest power x, right, or highest power variable. So our leading coefficient is bigger than 1, so we're going to do our complex trinomial method. So I'm going to multiply a by c. So 9 times 100, 900. And I'm looking for numbers I can multiply to get 900 that I can add to get 100. Okay, so numbers we can multiply to get 900 that we can add to get 100. So let's try them out. So I'm going to start with 9 and 100 because this is what I start out with. I want to add to get 100. So if I add 100 plus 9, I get 109. And that's pretty close, but I want to get a little bit smaller. So I want to bring these closer together. So closer together means a bigger number here with a smaller number here, right? And so a bigger number than 9 is 10. And 900 divided by 10 is 90. And 10 plus 90 is 100. So that's what we need, right? And so we can set our parentheses up here. Put the first variable in the front, second variable in the back. We're going to put the 10 in one spot, the 90 in the other. Okay. This tells us the sign of the bigger number, so this is going to be a negative. Let me write this bigger. And this tells us the signs are the same, right? When that's positive, our signs are the same. So that means this will also be negative. Okay, then we take that value in front, the a term, and we divide it here and divide it here. We can reduce. 90 divided by 9 is 10 over 1. This one can't reduce, 10 over 9. And so now we bring our reduced denominators to the front, and we get negative 6 times 9x minus 10y equals 1x minus 10y. All right, and there we go.